What is good, YouTube? My name is George. Welcome to another episode of Senior Year. Another day, another solid background, and another 5 tricks video. So this one is the 5 easiest wall ride tricks. And I need to start this video out with a disclaimer because realistically there are no very easy wall ride tricks. These are going to be the 5 easiest in my opinion. But these are tedious to learn. They're tricky. It's very particular the way you need to ride up the wall and have your weight exactly correct in order for the tricks to actually work. So keep in mind that you are going to have to try hard to learn these tricks, but I fully believe in all of you guys. And wall rides are some of the funnest tricks in the world. Once you have one wall ride trick, your possibilities in skateboarding are so much bigger. Every single wall of a building becomes a skate spot. I actually want to start this video with a couple of pro tips. Number 1 is the most common mistake when it comes to wall rides, and it is actually the temptation to pop your board. Every time I see somebody try their first wall ride, they kind of try to pop their board up into the wall. This is a mistake. You actually don't pop your board. You actually let your front wheels hit the wall and you take your weight up it. So your wheels literally ride up the wall. You don't pop into it. You want to think about it more like a very steep ramp. If you have that mindset, you don't ollie into a ramp, you just ride up it. It's the same with the wall. You're riding it like a steep ramp, but it just happens to be completely vertical. Next, it is very uncomfortable to ride on a vertical wall. And I believe that you can just get started and try it out. But if you want to kind of ease your way into it, I recommend trying to skate a Jersey barrier, or a lot of times skate parks these days actually have a kind of wall ride. It's like almost a wall, but it's slanted, and any sort of slant is way easier than a vertical wall. So if you just kind of get used to being up on there, it's a good way to start getting used to this sort of thing. Trick number 1 is the Wally. So this is the only one that actually doesn't involve a real wall. You actually kind of want to find something that cuts off, like the end of a ledge is absolutely perfect to learn how to Wally. So the Wally is where you basically ride almost directly into a little tiny wall. Like all of these tricks, you have to resist the urge to pop. If you pop your board, you're not going anywhere. What you want to do is start lifting up your front. Like, you do push down the tail, but you don't pop. You lift up your front so that when you bash into the wall, your board goes onto the wall as if it's a ramp. And then it's very particular the way you have to lean to get this one to work, but you really bash in and then kind of let your back foot take you up and over. And the way you want to think about this one, what really helped me figure this one out, is to literally go at the ledge at an angle and literally just go straight over. Don't think about going to the side. I find that personally more complicated, but if you kind of go straight over, if you have an obstacle like a ledge that actually cuts off at the top, that is the easiest way to do it. And this is probably the easiest one on this list. Now the rest of these are going to be on a wall like this. Trick number 2, I want to throw you guys one that you probably didn't expect. Now this one is the backside no comply wall ride. So it's kind of tricky to figure out, but you can actually plant your foot and sort of just guide your skateboard on the wall using your back foot, which makes this one not too tricky. This is actually the second wall ride trick I learned. I learned this one before wall ride, nollie out, anything like that. Pro tip is to keep your back foot on the tail, because then you can literally like control it on the wall. It's like you're standing on one foot and like just pivoting the board using your back foot, and you can actually figure this out so you literally just control it like a kick turn and then jump back on. I think this is easier than the others because you do have that foot planted and it's just less tricky. Another pro tip with this one is to go for the direct angle. I actually do most of my wall rides pretty directly into the wall. Contrary to what you might think, I spent a long time trying to learn wall ride tricks, like going more parallel to the wall, and it actually never seemed to work. But if you're going vertical, or maybe like 45 degrees, you get that lift on the wall and it really works out well. So try it out with the no comply wall ride. I think you guys can do it. Okay, now we're gonna get to the important one. This one really opens up the world of wall rides, and it is the wall ride nollie out. It's called the wall ride nollie out, but it's barely a nollie. It's kind of just a nudge. And basically what I do is I have my feet very spread out. I push down on the tail, you let your front wheels grab onto the wall, and once they're making contact with the wall, you just bring your body weight up. You let the wall take your skateboard up, your wheels gripping onto it just like it is a ramp. And the nollie out can be tricky. I think it probably took me 100 times to actually figure out how to get the board off of the wall, but there's like a secret to it. If you think about it, you're up here on the wall, and then you can kind of just let it come back down. Like, you don't really have to nollie, you can just plop that tail back down and then turn back. And of course that's not that cool, but it's a good way to start thinking about it. until eventually, like, dude, it's so hard to describe these tricks because it's like just these little variations in how you do things. But there is a way where you can like throw your front foot forward to actually exit the wall, and that puts you in the perfect position to then land. So pro tip for this one, try a 45-degree or a bigger angle than you would expect. Don't pop, just throw your weight up onto the wall and then try to get your back trucks back on the ground. And then like slowly try to build into that really nollie pop out. At this point, I want to mention that the straight up wall ride is not in this video. I think that like wall ride back to regular, like where it kind of looks like a kick turn or like an arc on the wall, I feel like that trick is crazy hard on a straight up wall. I have landed them before, but it's like I'm always landing primo like in the ground, and I haven't quite figured out how to actually like exit the wall good on that one. I definitely think the nollie out is the easier one because, as I said, it's like if just your nose is on that wall, you're like ready to put the tail down and just like kick turn out of it. So if anyone has a secret to straight wall rides, let me know. They are pretty easy on Jersey barriers, but as soon as it becomes vertical, it's like crazy hard. Next trick. So this one's pretty similar to the wall ride nollie out, and it is the wall ride to fakie.
Oh my god, that was beautiful. That was nice.
Now you might even find this easier than the wall ride nollie out because you kind of get up onto that wall, and then it's like less of a motion to go to fakie if you think about it than to nollie out. It's just like a natural carrying of your momentum into the 180, and you can almost think about it like you do a little like pivot on your nose while you're on the wall. It's like boom, right up, and then just little pivot, and then it's like, look at that, you're ready to go back down. It's like less of a chance to go into primo on that one, so definitely give it a go. Next trick. Now this one you're gonna have to be comfortable riding switch, but I actually think this one is pretty easy if you can get up onto that wall switch and go back to regular. So it's the switch wall ride to regular. This one I think is particularly easy to figure out because you land in regular, and it's that same concept of going up and doing that little kick turn, and it's like doing like a fakie kick turn. Like you go up switch, but then boom, you're in regular mode. You just do that little kick turn, and then you have a lot of control if you're on that wall right because you're going back to regular. You just kind of put it back down. And it's like, yeah, the key to all these like nollie out sort of kick turny tricks is like if you're flat on the wall, it's hard to get off. But if your nose is already lifted, you can just put this guy down on the floor, and it's like, there you go. And wow, was that 5 already? Those, in my opinion, are the 5 easiest wall ride tricks. I actually think that I can't think of any more that I could reasonably call easy. Just to rattle off some ones I've done in the past, this straight up wall ride, as I said, the front side wall ride nollie out, that's like ridiculous. And the switch wall ride back to switch, those are very much more difficult, but if you can figure these out, definitely good ones to explore. And as I said, this really opens up a bigger world of skateboarding. I encourage you to try like 100 times because it's worth it, and you will figure this out. And now they're my favorite tricks. I think they definitely could be yours too. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. What other types of these videos do you want to see? Leave it in the comments down below. I'm gonna read them all, and I'm actually at a spot. I'm gonna do a little trick. Why not? Helmet gang for life. And that's a wrap. Take it easy, y'all.
Can you feel
What is good, YouTube? My name is George. And what do you do? I'm getting distracted by people.